Right, here we go again. We're into another old camera. This time it's the Olympus XZ2. This is a successor to the XZ1 that came out a year or two, I think it was a year before this one. Now this camera came out in 2012. Now it's a premium compact for the day. It has a 1 over 1.7 inch sensor, which is 7.44 by 5.58 millimeters in measurements. And it's a CMOS sensor, and although it is a small sensor, for the time it came out, like I said before, it was a premium compact, retailed for around about I think it was about $800 to $1,000 New Zealand when it came out, which is I think about $450 to $500 US. So it's not a cheap camera by any means, but it was aimed at like the advanced user. It wasn't sort of aimed at the bottom of the market like premium, like budget point and shoot, because it has a lot of premium features in it, like the PSAM dial. It also has like a function menu on the back there that you can actually, let's turn it on and I'll show you. So I have got it set in black and white at the moment, as you can see from the back of the screen. The function menu here, I've got that button assigned to the ND filter, which has got a built-in ND filter, which is handy because it's only got 1 over 2,000th of a second shutter speed, so it does need a bit of help in that regard in bright light, because the aperture is f1.4. Sorry, it's f1.8 to 2.5, and the lens on it is a 28 to 112 millimeter focal length. So yeah, at the wide end it's 1.8, so it does need a little bit of help with that built-in ND filter. Now on the front, if you can see that, this little lever here, and in the middle there's a button. Now that, when I press that button, it pops up with a menu down the bottom. You can see that, focus on that, yep. And you can scroll through different settings on the camera, as you can see on screen. So it's quite handy. It's a quick way to push it and scroll through the different menus. We're using the little scroll wheel on the back here. And also on the front of the lens here, there's a, I don't know if you can hear that, there's a clickable ring around the base of the lens, which is at the moment is controlling the aperture. You can see that on the screen. It's controlling the aperture. Now I do believe you can assign other functions to it, but I've got that as aperture at the moment. Now it does have image stabilizer built into it. Now that is sensor based image stabilization, so it works pretty well in holding the image steady when you, especially when you're zoomed in with your little zoom rocker here. Now you'll see it. Zoom in and out, zoom out. And it does have a tiltable screen, as you can see, down 45 and up 90 degrees. So it helps in composing images when you're low down to the ground. And also pop-up flash, which is quite handy in dark situations. And it also has a hot shoe, and also on this hot shoe it's got the extra connections below the hot shoe for attaching a EVF. I haven't managed to get a hold of an EVF yet. I did see one come up for sale on the second-hand market, but I missed out on that, which would have been quite handy to have a little optical viewfinder to attach whenever you wanted to, but never mind, I shall keep looking. I must point out too that it does have an extension to the optical zoom, which is a digital zoom of 4 times the focal length, but with any of these digital zooms I just don't use them. They're not they're only just going to crop into your image, not going to give you very good image quality. As it is, the image quality is satisfactory, I would say. It's not brilliant. I mean, the images coming out of it are perfectly usable on like a smartphone, on the computer, but I haven't printed anything out large to put up on the wall. It's not sort of camera that I would use for doing that anyway. I'd much rather use my Sony A7C for that sort of thing, but these are quite handy to take with you if you want a few quick snaps at a party, or out with a friend, or out for a walk. Just something, you know, nice and light to hold on to and carry with you. Size and weight. Now it is 113 millimeters wide by 65 high and 48 millimeters deep. Of course, that will extend as you turn it on and the lens extends out. But switched off, the lens cap on, it's quite pocketable. It's quite slim. Not quite as slim as the Samsung EX2F that I reviewed a short time ago. It is a little bit more chunky than that, but it's still easy to hold on to. And the weight of it is 346 grams, or 12.2 ounces for you guys in America. It does shoot video, just full HD, and I'll put some clips up on screen as well, along with some image samples, and you can see what they look like. So I hope you like those image samples I put up on screen. You do charge it by I can't remember what the cable is. I can't remember what the name of this cable is, but I don't know if you can see that cable. That type of cable. It does charge in camera, so that's handy. As I haven't got an external charger for it, it's got the Olympus LI90B battery, which is quite small, as you can see. And in with that battery card slot. So it does take standard SD cards in there, not the micro SD cards like in the Nikon J5, which was a bit disappointed that it had such a tiny little card in that one. The other thing with this one is, with this grip on the side here, on the front, you can actually take it off. And I don't have the right screwdriver for that. But that little hand grip there comes off. So yeah, that's quite handy. Gives you a little bit more grip, a bit more rubberized grip when you're holding it, along with the thumb rest at the back. You can see that. There's your record button at the top there. So yeah, made in Indonesia, not made in Japan, never mind. But yeah, Olympus colors, all those images had just a little bit of the shadows brought up into them, and that's pretty much it. They're all pretty much as is from the camera. Nice little compact. You can hold it with one hand. You are sort of, yeah, it's a little bit small for my hands, but it's manageable. So she's got a sort of soft feel to the shutter button. It's not sort of, it feels almost like a rubbery type, but it's not. It's plastic, but it's got a sort of a soft feel to it. But anyway, that's my short little review of this Olympus XZ2 model from 2012. Just another one in the line of these vintage cameras that we'll be doing. We've got another one coming up at some stage in the near future, which is another Samsung one. It's a WB250F that I managed to pick up for like $50 New Zealand, which was quite cheap. This one here cost me $141 New Zealand on the second-hand market, which I thought wasn't too bad a price really for the type of camera it is. It's pretty. Oh, just mention about that lever. I almost forgot that little lever at the bottom there. You can see it. That got that set to put it into macro mode. So once you put it into macro mode, you can use this focus ring, this ring around the base of the lens, to adjust your focus. So it does work quite well for that. So yeah, nice little touch. Bang, straight into macro, back into AF. As easy as that. So yeah, hope you liked that short little review, and stay tuned for more reviews of some of these old vintage cameras. I'll be, whenever I can get my hands on some of these things, I will grab them and do reviews for you guys. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope you liked it, and we'll see you on the next one.